Welcome everyone to another episode of Conscious Gatherers. Tonight there's three of us, myself, Terry, Bev, and Royce are all here ready to bring forth some new information, some exciting information, and answer anybody's questions if they're here live. Ladies, are you with me tonight?
We're here. Yep. Welcome everybody to episode 41. And we have a lot to share tonight. Right now we're going to call this episode Eye of the Storm. And that can go in many directions. That. Yeah. So that actually was something that I channeled a few days ago. And I thought it would be a good place to go as we get into our podcast. So, Terry, you have some things that you wanted to bring up that you're starting to realize.
That was very appropriate because when you're in the eye of the storm, you're in the calm part. You can look around and see it all around you. If you're in that middle, 360 degrees, everything in there is going crazy. But you're in the calm areas. And it's sort of like what we're doing on a daily basis. If you're in your home, and I'm going to use me as an example tonight because I've been feeling this, and so I know if I'm feeling it, others must be feeling it too. But I don't go very many places. I run errands for my wife, so when I go, I'm in the car usually, or I'm in the store. But once in a while, I go to a network meeting. But most of the time, I'm in the house most of the hours of most days. And when I'm in my house, I'm very calm. I know who I am, I know what I can do, and I'm in control, the I am. And so what the topic that I want to talk about is the daily challenges of staying calm in the eye of the storm, staying centered, being spiritual. There's daily challenges to that because every time, and I feel myself as, not on top of the realm of advanced and stuff, but I'm pretty aware. I believe I know what's going on. I can stay centered. I can be in my heart. But when I go out and I get in that car, and most people are, dealing with people on a daily basis, encountering, and there's much more than I am. But when I catch myself, especially in the car driving, someone does something that I think is stupid or silly, and it gets me. I go, oh, why is that person following me so close? It's like, I just went, boom. It's so easy to get out of the center or the center of the eye, the eye of the storm, and get caught up into the storm when we're interacting with more people. And those are the daily challenges that happen. Not so much when I go to the store. I've gotten pretty good at lines don't bother me because there aren't many lines anymore because it's usually self-serve. It's generally driving. And, I judge people, and I know I shouldn't be judging it. So then I get on my own case, kind of criticize myself. And then I get back home and I'm out of the interactions with people, and I can go look back and go, God, you didn't do that very well on that test today, did you, Terry? And so it's just, we all get caught in that. And what I realized when I came back and saw, it doesn't matter. There's no reason to berate ourselves and get mad at ourselves. Boy, who do you think you are, a spiritual person, and you're going, judging people, getting angry at people. And the lesson was we all do it, and recognizing it is half the battle. Because if you recognize it, you don't fall into that pattern, and you have that choice in that instant to back off, to go back to the center, leave the storm again. Does that make sense, ladies?
Yes, and that's well put, because we do this, and there are those in ourselves. I mean, we're coming from, if you want to use the terms, third dimensional, fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional terms that we have used, and there's a lot of people that are into that. They're feeling the energies that are going on in the world, and as we're changing, those energies are amped up within them, and a lot of people don't know how to process them, and so it may come out in anger or frustration or some of these other emotional things that we go through. And so you're feeling, and you're empathic, Terry, and so you're feeling that too, and so you're pulling, that's pulling on you, but you realize it, and then to berate yourself does get you nowhere, but your awareness does, and so you are aware, and you are aware that you're reacting to that moment. And then as you go on and breathe, take a breath and thats what is going on, and you start acting versus reacting.
What I
realize
realized,
we all go through these times.
Sorry, what I realized during this whole thing, now I know why the monks go up in the Himalayas and they go isolated, and they stay away from everybody and stay in meditation, which helps them maybe elevate to what they're doing, but it doesn't help you grow. I don't think in everyday life where you bring it down to, and you within the storm you still can stay in the center. Wherever you move, that storm moves around you, but you stay in the center, and the center moves with you. And I think that's part of what we're working on here, what I'm working on. But I realize now more of why people isolate themselves, to help them spiritually grow, because it's easier to do.
Well, I think there's an energy about them too, about like the monks who do that, separate themselves, is not only working on their own energy, but the possibility of working on a stabilizing force for the planet as well. So kind of a twofold deal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I was thinking too about walking in the eye of the storm. We're masters, and it's time to start realizing that. And we're masters walking through the storm. The storm's going around us. All of a sudden, that storm's going to stop, and we're going to look around and say, where did it go? And it just the peacefulness, the blissfulness sets in. That could be a few moments a day, but eventually become the life here on earth. The heaven on earth type thing that we've been talking about for years. So, that's it. It's feeling that wondrous feeling of being here.
Yes.
Versus
and all of the spiritual masters of whatever sect or religion or faith you're following, every one of those masters knew how to stay in the eye of the storm and bring the people in, and the people felt the energy, as Royce was saying, and the collective could go and be with the master, feel the energy, and then share that energy, so the eye of the storm became larger and the storm dissipated. I can see that happening.
Yeah, like it implodes. Interesting. Well, when I received the words, the eye of the storm, a few days ago, the additional information I received is the following. The storm is upon you. Remain calm. What we've been talking about. It shall pass as a diamond in the dark. Light shall prevail, as it will not be dimmed. Hold fast. Vibrational interference will be short-lived. So we do have that sort of thing going on right now, a lot of interference. And it's just understand what's going on and stay calm, and so it doesn't affect you.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Terry, there's that thing about being in traffic. I know that I used to get wrapped up in reacting to people acting like lunatics out there on the road until something happened, and it woke me up to the fact that, wait a minute, I'm being in a sense awakened in this moment to be aware of what's going on right now, because something's happening. Keep your wits about you. So sometimes when those things happen on the road,
yep,
it's to keep us out of trouble, you need to slow down because there's an accident ahead or something like that,
Right. And I know exactly what you're saying, Royce, because that's where we're in right now, what Bev just brought up. We're actually in a kind of like a battle, I guess. There's two forces going on right now. and it's prevalent in our society, especially here in the United States, but I'm sure it's worldwide. The fear, the anger, the one side versus the other, and the spiritual side is the loving side. There's only one true energy, and that's love and forgiveness. And that energy is being fought very hard with anger and fear and, don't do this to us. We've been victims of this. That's the counteractive feeling. And that battle of those energies is coming to a head. I think we're hearing it from different sources that we check into, that Bev checks in and I check in and Royce checks into. And it's coming to a head. It's not far off. There are some things that are going to be disclosed, not sure what they'll be, but they will be earth-shaking and kind of like awe moments. And we're being told that the earliest that could happen could be as soon as next month, sometime in June. And then we're hearing, if not, most likely in July. And it could even be around the 4th of July. I don't know exact dates, but that's what the sources that I've been listening to. I haven't gotten that information direct from any source. It's other people that I've been listening to and follow and believe. And another thing these sources said is it's like a chess game, and the love, the harmony, the forgive is 7 moves away from checkmate, of neutralizing this fear and this negativity, and both sides know that 7 moves is upon them. So I felt that pretty interesting, and that's why that timetable of sometime here next month or even moving into July. But I don't think we'll go past that with some disclosure, revelational type information that will blow a lot of people's minds.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes. I would like to share some of the words that I received 2 days ago.
Go ahead.
Okay. I heard the word nightingale because one of my writings is called Book of the Nightingale, and it's about inner earth people. And anyway, that's that. And so when I heard nightingale, so that's where my mind went. And then I heard the words, it's time. And so I asked, I said, disclosure. And here's the answer. Excuse me. The realization you are not alone and never have been. It may take a while for Earth's population to take in this understanding. Disclosure has always been going on for those who have eyes to see. However, on the scale of in your face, will be frightening for many. Calmness is important at this time. Earth is not being attacked. It is being assisted. Know this and speak to the masses. Your voices are as an elixir. Use them. So there we go. And those that understand what's going on, be the calmness to help those that are, right, soon we're going to be seeing some ships.
Yep.
I had asked if there was going to be an event where many ships will uncloak. And what the answer I got, they said, put it this way: what all will witness will be undeniable. I'm like, whoa, okay. So I had asked because I've heard so much about the fake alien invasion. And so I did ask that. I said, fake or a real alien invasion? And remember, they said it's to assist, not to attack. But anyway, the answer was not an invasion. And they said acts like a final wake-up call. So humanity, wake up. And I had asked if that's to happen soon. And yes, Terry, you already answered that question.
Yes. And I would ask our listeners to pass it to their friends. Say, you know what? Something could be coming around the corner here pretty fast in June or July. Stay tuned and don't get freaked out. Just stay in the eye of the storm, in the center, remember that, because when it happens, it might be like me when I'm driving and something ticks me off. I've got to remember to get back to the eye of the storm. So please, listeners, know you heard it here, and we're stepping out with that, and we're behind that, and we're very confident that this will happen as in the time frame that we've said it will happen.
Yeah, it's supposed to be undeniable. So I feel a lot is coming out yet this month. But I've been saying that for the last few months, and things have, a lot happening behind the scenes that have not been exposed. We had talked about mainstream media totally changing. It will look totally different in a year. That was a couple of months ago. I got that. But that, I think a lot of those media stations will cease to be if they don't make the changes. So I think that's interesting because we're not getting the real news, the so-called real news. So when a lot of this becomes undeniable, us as awakened beings and those that are awakening, speak up and speak out and speak calmly.
I'm going to share something with you quickly. In 95, I awoke hearing a series of 3 tones. It was an odd progression, so I would remember it. And a few months after that, my mother was in the hospital in the process of transitioning, passing over. And I was in the room with her, and she was asleep. And all of a sudden, I hear those same 3 tones that had awakened me. And I quick sat up and listened to my mom, and she did it again. And I was about ready to drop my teeth, I have to tell you. And I quick grabbed my notebook because I was going to try to ask her some questions. And her eyes popped open wide. And I said, "You heard the tones? What does it mean?" And she said, "They're coming." And no, excuse me. The first thing she said was the invasion. And I said, that kind of flipped me out. And I said, so you heard the tones, just to make sure that, I was getting everything right. And she said, "They're coming. Just know that they're coming. A happening." And I said, "Is it for good or what?" And she said, "It won't be so bad. This place is so screwed up. It won't be so bad." So I'm just telling you that to let you know that my mom was given that information very close, within a week of when she passed. She wasn't freaked out. She was very calm. And I believe her words, the invasion, were meant because there were just so many of them showing up at one time that used to be a term that was widely used back then. So just like Terry and Bev said, stay calm. Whatever you see, pass it through your discernment, your intuition, and just be there and keep your eyes and ears opened, and your heart.
Yeah, the heart is very important.
Yes.
All right, Terry?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what comments do you have?
I pretty much laid it all out there in the beginning. We do have techniques that we can share to stay in the eye of the storm, to stay centered. There's some very, and when you do falter, as I say, there's some very easy techniques to, let it go. I mean, basically cancel, clear it. And sometimes even with your words, if you say something and you really want to retract that, following it up with cancel, clear, that retracts it. And just like if you use Ho'oponopono and something comes up that you feel yourself being angry or judging or something, you simply come up and say, whatever in me caused me to be judgmental or angry or whatever, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. As simple as that, because our words are powerful. And just going through that small little thing that I said, that 4 little phrases, can mean a whole lot in terms of your energy and stuff.
Yeah, and there's something else too. You can just visualize the energy of whatever it was that was just said or that just happened. Visualize it as an energy and spiral it upward to give it back from wherever it came from. And that spiraling sends it back into the universe as a neutral.
And it's transmuted.
Mm-hmm.
And I also say that if something's happening, like when I go to bed and stuff, and I ask, higher self, and I ask the subconscious self and the physical body to work together and to, regenerate the body for the next day's effort, and anything that you find in the body, please send it back. That's not in accord with those wishes. Send it back to its source with grace and ease. So, I'm always trying to think in the positive, and even if something's in me that's not working for me, I want it to leave, but I don't want it to leave with hostility or something.
Yes. No, what comes to me too is taking both your hands and putting it over your heart. If you stay calm or your hands so clear, it's just literally bringing your hands to your heart. And so that brings your attention to the heart area. And
right. And if you bring your attention to your heart area, you'll immediately change the energy and vibration of your entire body. There can't be a negative thought if you're working from your heart. Literally, you can't. It's our head that gets us in the games and the tape playing with the amygdala, which is a part of the brain that just remembers the things and brings them up when it recognizes something that's familiar from the past that you reacted to. It clicks that and triggers that. And if you can get out of the head and go into the heart in that moment, literally you'll rearrange that, and you'll be back into the love, forgiveness, joy, and stuff. And HeartMath has proved that scientifically. You don't have to believe what we're saying. Go to HeartMath, and they scientifically have proven that fact.
Yeah, and which is what we've talked about in every episode. We are simply amazing beings. And that's another reason why we're probably going to see a lot of chips are already around. A lot of us have seen them. A lot of people have interacted with them. Just extending consciousness. I've seen the inside of some of these, not in the physical sense, but extended consciousness. So they're out there, and they're also a lot of beings within the earth. Hence the nightingale. I was wondering if some of those beings are going to make themselves known. And they're just a very peaceful people, and I think they may have more of a bird-like appearance. I'm not quite sure. So some of these beings we see will not look like us, and not to freak out, but feel the energy of them, and then you'll know that you're safe because of what they're projecting out. So keep that in mind as more of these beings present themselves to us in a more physical sense. And the other thing I was going to bring up with that is that there is a lot going on in not only Earth, but in getting this actually a couple hours ago. So much activity in our galaxy, and even maybe beyond solar system galaxy, and just a lot of I'm not sure what the words I've used. But the coming together of the many nations, and enough of this fighting and stuff like that. And, I didn't think it went on beyond the earth, but it does. And to realize that, and then it's like, hey, we're all part of Source or God, whatever word you want to use. And it's like, hey, we all have our own thing that we like to, that we're pursuing or experiencing. That's like word I like to use. Experience and the sharing of these tools, of these thoughts, of wonderful. I'm going to use the word technologies, even though I'm not necessarily talking AI, or artificial intelligence, but that we have so much sharing with many of these beings that we can more openly share. I think it's gone on, but it has on this earth, but it hasn't been talked about as such. But I feel a lot of that is coming up, and so it's really going to be quite an experience for everybody, and it's going to be beautiful as we learn more about other civilizations outside of Earth, as long with what's inside of Earth, and even ourselves as starseeds or galactic humans or whatever words you want to use.
Well said.
All right. Wow, it's a wow, really. I don't know how else to say it. It's like wow. So
we're in for exciting times.
We are. It says that what we will witness will be undeniable,
whether you're conscious of it, whether you're conscious of it or not, we all chose to be here at this time.
Exactly. Exactly. And remember, everybody has their own path, and and if they may not believe what we're talking about, that's fine. And it's, whatever they want to experience in this lifetime, they came to be here now. They chose to come here. And my understanding, there's so many beings that wanted to be here on Earth at this time because of what we're going through, and not all these beings could come in. So realize that we're here for a reason, and that people want a sense of purpose, and it's like, do we really need to know much more what our sense of purpose is? Because we're going to drop that need to know. And, everything is in divine order. And the issue of needing to know shall pass, because it's not an issue in the higher vibrations of beingness. So I was told the internal clock will dissipate. So, that living in the various timelines, that sort of thing, and or jumping timelines, and people are experiencing that now, and it's pretty interesting. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm in two places at one time. Well, yeah, you are, or more. It's wherever you put your focus, and sometimes you need to rest to focus elsewhere, and leave the body, let the body rest here. But remember, our bodies are really important, so take care of them.
Yes, absolutely. Excellent. Well, would either of you ladies have a final word you'd like to bring in here to close us out for the evening?
Be prepared, and what that means, stay calm, stay in the heart, and know that all is well.
And remember that you're not alone. If you don't hear anybody else speaking, you know that we're here. And speaking for myself, I love you, and I thank you so much for staying.
And I thank you all for being with us and spending the short time we have together. And we appreciate you immensely, and we appreciate your comments too. So when we upload to the YouTube channel, feel free to make comments. Feel free to share the channel, and I hope you're getting value of it. Our next session will be 2 weeks from tonight, which will be May 18th, and it will be again at 7 p.m. Eastern. And until then, we all say, may the force be with you.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.